Many of the world's domestic workers are migrants from Asia. Every year, thousands leave their homes and countries in search of a better job abroad. For more on this now, let's return to our Asian News Centre and Veronica Pedrosa.
Mariam, thanks again. Well, most of those migrant domestic workers come from the Philippines and from Indonesia. Many are young and inexperienced, and sometimes they're subjected to physical and mental abuse. Indonesia alone has 2.5 million workers overseas, some of them as young as 12. Despite earning as little as $100 a month, combined, they send home more than $5 billion a year. The workers head to other countries in Asia or to the Middle East, where often they're not protected by local labour laws. That leaves the workers open to exploitation, particularly the women. Tony Birtley reports from Jakarta on the domestic workers abused by their foreign employers.
A school for maids, a course in housework and a job abroad at the end of it. For these young women, this training school near Jakarta is the first step to escape unemployment and poverty. They are part of 700,000 Indonesians, 80% of them women, who have to go abroad each year, many leaving behind partners and children. This is a journey into the unknown for these young women. From here they'll go to a foreign country with different customs and probably a different language. This course is teaching them household chores, but it can't prepare them for an abusive employer. The end of the journey is here in Terminal 3 at Jakarta International Airport. It's specifically for returning migrant workers, and according to officials, a growing number return having not been paid or much worse. This young woman is 20 years old. She worked as a maid in Kuwait. She says she was raped by the father and son of the household. We protected her identity. Her hands were black, she says, from the chlorine she was made to use without gloves when she cleaned toilets. At Jakarta's police hospital, you can find the worst cases of maid abuse. This woman shows the scars she claims were inflicted by her female employer in Kuwait.
My arm and buttocks were ironed. Then my head was hit with a metal bar. My hair was cut and my eyes were poked.
It was, she claims, because she was working too slowly. It sounds unbelievable, but to staff of the migrant care organisation in Jakarta, these kind of stories are becoming all too familiar. They have a rapidly filling database of abuse claims.
Indonesia dan beberapa negara tujuan.
In Indonesia and most other countries, domestic workers aren't considered formal workers, so they aren't covered by local labor laws.
Hukum setempat di Indonesia juga sama gitu, sehingga
so whatever happens to them, they won't be protected.
Perlindungan.
Many maids are treated well, but the ones who are not endure a living hell. They can work up to 22 hours a day, 7 days a week, sometimes starved and not paid, confined in homes for months on end. This is a photograph of a maid who escaped from an abusive employer in Malaysia by tying sheets together and climbing out of a window. Allegations of abuse stretch from the Middle East to Asia. Countries like Indonesia are heavily reliant on the remittances of migrant workers and are reluctant to criticise governments or press for basic rights. Last year, 20 maids killed their employers, and that figure could rise. For the maids in hell, degradation and suffering are just part of the job. Tony Birtley, Jazeera, Jakarta.